Hey, Greg Silva. I wanted to do two videos this week. I do one video, and the one I did previously was really on Little Dragons, the kids' classes. So I wanted to do an extra video more for the adult schools. And Paul Garcia and I always talked about there's certain wants and certain needs. In other words, when I talk to a lot of school owners, they go, hey, everyone wants a hard workout. They want realistic self-defense. You know, they want to learn more of this MMA stuff because that's what they see that really works. You know, and they want to get fit. They want killer classes. My guys want killer classes. So a lot of times I find instructors and school owners, when they're working on their adult class, they're thinking or they're trying to read into what people want. You know, there's certain things people want, but there's also things that people need. And I'm going to just tell you a little story first. I was talking to Roland Osborne last week. He came to visit. And we're in the car and we're talking about getting attention, people giving feedback. And he goes, you know, I take a kickboxing class. It's a pretty big kickboxing class. And I've been there for several months. He goes, I don't think the instructor one time gave me any type of feedback. He says it's a fitness, more of a fitness kickboxing. There's women in the class. And the instructors are always going around, different women talking to them. And I'm going through my moves and I go, man, does this guy know I'm here or not? Well, that's the difference between a want and a need. See, Roland Osborne wants to get in shape, but as a person, he also needs to have some type of feedback. I mean, people want some type of recognition. That's where the want comes in. Now, this is where we get into why kids' classes or adult classes is very, very similar. Because when we talk about teaching, we want to make sure we fulfill people's needs. What do they need? They may not know what they need, but as instructors for a long period of time, we know what they need. They need recognition. They need to be told how well they're doing. They need to feel like they belong. They need to see some progress. They have to see some type of advancement. These are all needs. How am I doing? How am I getting good? In our combat fitness class in Mesa, there's a lot of women in the morning class, and a lot of these women come in and say, I want to lose weight. But they need to see some type of proof. They need to see that they're actually doing that. So we actually put them on a scale. We monitor their weight so they can see progress. We monitor their body fat so they can see progress. We monitor their hydration so they see that they're getting healthier. But there's a way to show progress. No different than in a regular martial arts school where people are earning belts. They want to get their belt because they're setting goals for themselves. Just like women in the combat fitness want to lose weight. That's a goal. But am I doing it? You know, they have to have some type of measure of progress. Same thing with your adult class. In your adult class, a lot of people say, well, my guys don't care about getting belts. Well, I don't know if they really care about that, but they need some type of scale. Am I making progress? Am I getting better? Am I getting stronger? So if you don't really have a physical way of doing this by putting a belt around them, you have to do that by acknowledging it. In other words, as a student practicing, I may not really see myself getting stronger. I may not see myself getting any faster, but does my instructor recognize it? He may notice, hey, you know, I got to tell you, I've been watching your class and you're doing your push-ups and sit-ups. Man, you're making some good progress. I remember watching you the first couple classes. We get to like 20 and you were kind of shaking, your arms were giving out. Now you pumped out 35 today. I was totally impressed. So they need that type of recognition. They need someone to acknowledge that they're making progress. So don't just think, you people, well, they want this. Yeah, they want certain things, but let's see what they need. And let's concentrate this week on they need some type of feedback. So make sure, just like with the kids' classes, when you're going through your class, you're giving your guys the thumbs up, you're patting them on the back, you're taking time to say, hey, I'm watching it today. Your stances are really, really strong. Hey, I've been watching it today. Your reaction time is getting really quick. I mean, you did that technique. You just took off and did it. I'm seeing some great progress. Make sure everyone in your school gets some type of recognition. Also, make sure that you know your students' names. It's easy with kids. We write the kids' names on their white belt, so if you forget them, you can always look down at their belt and say, hey, Jimmy. Now make sure your adults call them by name. I once did a video about a gym I belonged to, and I quit the gym. Because after 2 years, it was time for renewal. I walk in and go, hey, how you doing? I go, man, this guy knows nothing about me, doesn't know my name. I've been here for 2 years. Every morning I come to the gym. I'm one of the first people at the gym. Always say hello to him. It's been 2 years. The guy doesn't even know who I am. I want to make sure that I'm going to a place where I feel part of the community. So make sure, secondly, you know everyone's name, and make sure, number 3, you start developing a sense of community. This is one reason CrossFit is really successful. When you go to CrossFit and you're working with a group, you're working on as a team. And that team becomes very, very important. That's your support group. So when people are in classes, not only is the instructor knows the name of the students know each other. I watch Craig Haley run his school, and I see him doing all kinds of events with his adults. I see them doing runs together. I see them doing chili cook-offs together. I see them going out to a sports bar and watching UFC fights together. That's a sense of community. He's a part of their lives, and the students are part of each other's lives. It's very, very important. So again, this is all about wants and needs of adults. They don't differ a lot from kids. So I don't want you to think adults I treat totally differently. Well, we do treat them totally different because it's a tougher class, it's a faster class. We expect more out of them. But there's certain needs they want. They do want that recognition. They do want to make sure they're seeing some type of progress, and they do want to feel part of a group. So that's your adult instructor tips. If it kind of falls over into your kids, that's fine. People are people. I don't care if it's a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old, or a 50-year-old. People have certain type of needs. In martial arts, it's not teaching martial arts. We teach people. We happen to teach people martial arts, but we're really teaching people. Have a good week. This is Greg Silva. I will talk to you next week.